You're walking alone at night when you hear footsteps behind you. Your heart races, your palms sweat. Before you even turn around, your body has already decided you're in danger. But what if those footsteps belong to a jogger? What if the threat was never real? Your brain just made a split-second decision that could save your life or ruin your evening, and you had absolutely no say in it. This is fear, and it's far more complex than you think. Fear isn't just an emotion. It's a survival system that's been fine-tuned over millions of years. When you experience fear, you're tapping into the same neural circuits that kept your ancestors alive when saber-toothed cats prowled the landscape. But here's the twist. The same system that once protected humans from predators now activates when you're about to give a presentation or send a risky text message. Your brain can't always tell the difference between a real threat and a perceived one. At the center of your fear response sits a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's alarm system. The amygdala processes threats faster than your conscious mind can even register them. Scientists have found that it can detect danger in as little as 12 milliseconds. That's faster than the blink of an eye. This is why you might jump at a shadow before realizing it's just a coat hanging on a door. Your amygdala saw potential danger and hit the panic button before your rational brain could weigh in. But the amygdala doesn't work alone. When it detects a threat, it sends distress signals to the hypothalamus, which acts like a command center. The hypothalamus then activates the sympathetic nervous system, triggering what we commonly call the fight-or-flight response. Within seconds, your body transforms into a survival machine. Your heart pumps faster to send blood to your muscles. Your breathing quickens to take in more oxygen. Your pupils dilate to let in more light. Even your digestion slows down because your body has decided that surviving the next few minutes is more important than digesting lunch. Here's where it gets interesting. Your brain is constantly making predictions about the world around you. Neuroscientists call this predictive processing. Your brain doesn't just react to what's happening. It's always trying to anticipate what might happen next based on past experiences. This is why two people can experience the same situation completely differently. Someone who was bitten by a dog as a child might feel intense fear around all dogs, while someone who grew up with dogs might feel nothing but joy. Same stimulus, completely different fear response. This prediction system usually works well, but it has a major flaw. Your brain is biased toward false positives. In other words, it would rather see danger where there is none than miss real danger. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes perfect sense. The cost of mistaking a stick for a snake is just a moment of unnecessary panic. The cost of mistaking a snake for a stick could be death. So your brain errs on the side of caution, sometimes seeing threats that don't exist. Memory plays a crucial role in how fear operates. When you experience something frightening, your brain doesn't just store the memory of the event itself, it also stores the context. The sights, sounds, smells, and even the time of day become linked to that fear in your memory. This is called contextual fear conditioning. It's why a particular song might trigger anxiety if you heard it during a traumatic event, or why someone might feel uneasy in a specific location without consciously remembering why. The fascinating part is that many of your fears are learned, not inherited. You weren't born afraid of public speaking or rejection. These fears developed through experience and observation. Humans are incredibly good at learning fear from others without having to experience the danger themselves. If you see someone else react with terror to something, your brain takes note. This is called observational fear learning, and it's why children often develop the same fears as their parents. But not all fear happens consciously. Your brain can process fearful stimuli without you being aware of it. Researchers have demonstrated this through experiments where images of threatening faces are flashed so quickly that participants don't consciously see them, yet their amygdala still responds. This unconscious fear processing can influence your decisions and behaviors in ways you never realize. You might avoid certain situations or feel uncomfortable around specific people without understanding why. Chronic fear and anxiety reveal another hidden aspect of how your brain works. When your fear system is constantly activated, it can actually change the structure of your brain. Prolonged stress can shrink the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and learning, while strengthening the connections in the amygdala. This creates a vicious cycle where your brain becomes even more sensitive to threats. People with anxiety disorders often have hyperactive amygdalas and weakened connections between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that helps regulate emotions. Your brain also has a system for overcoming fear, and it's more powerful than you might think. The prefrontal cortex can actually inhibit the amygdala's fear response. This is why you can talk yourself down from panic, or why exposure therapy works for phobias. When you repeatedly face a fear without the predicted catastrophe occurring, your brain slowly learns that the threat isn't real. This process is called extinction learning. You're not erasing the fear memory, but you're creating a new memory that competes with it. Here's something most people don't know. The physical sensations of fear and excitement are nearly identical. Increased heart rate, rapid breathing, heightened alertness. The main difference is how your brain interprets these sensations. This is why reframing anxiety as excitement can actually work. You're not changing what your body is doing, but you're changing the story your brain tells about it. Athletes and performers use this technique all the time, transforming pre-game jitters into fuel for peak performance. Fear also serves a social function that often goes unnoticed. Shared fear experiences can bond people together. This is why scary movies are popular date activities, or why soldiers form unbreakable bonds in combat. When you face fear alongside someone else, your brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone involved in bonding and trust. Your fear system isn't just protecting you as an individual, it's also helping you form the social connections that humans need to survive. The strangest thing about fear is that your conscious mind is often the last to know what's happening. By the time you realize you're afraid, your body has already been responding for several seconds. Your brain has assessed the threat, activated your stress response, and prepared your body for action, all before you could form the thought that you're scared. This reveals a humbling truth about human consciousness. You're not always the one in control. Much of what drives your behavior happens beneath the surface of awareness. Understanding the psychology of fear doesn't make you fearless, but it does give you power. When you recognize that your brain is simply running an ancient program designed for a different world, you can start to question your automatic responses. That presentation isn't actually life-threatening, even though your body treats it that way. That rejection won't kill you, even though it feels like it might. Your brain is doing its best to protect you, but it's working with outdated software. The more you understand how fear operates, the more you can work with your brain instead of being controlled by it. Fear will always be part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to be the director of your life.